So would you say, like, do you think this is probably one of the first experiences that people have with this feeling of like unworthiness or not good enough? Because I can see it in myself where it's like, yeah, of course, like you're crying out for help and you would want your mom or you want someone and nobody's coming and it gets internalized. And of course you don't have the thought process at the time because you're a baby, but it gets internalized as like I'm not good enough for someone to come when I'm crying. Or like nobody cares enough to come to me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of holistic research in like the in the holistic world, a lot of like research and tie-ins and in reference to people who have experienced the cryo method and in relation to them just having this full body experience of like, I don't know why I feel this way. My childhood was okay, or like my parents, my family, like they were pretty good to me. Like I don't know why I feel this way. I don't know why I have XYZ happening to me, or happening for me, if you will. And they do a bit of digging into their infancy time, and they experience the cryo method, or like there were some other like maybe like bigger moments in their babyhood in their infancy, that manifested, if you will, as this deeper core wound of feeling like I'm not enough. Not saying that it's real because you're enough, period, but creates that sensation trapped in the body. And I just want to add this other nuance that I've personally felt the truth within my own body, mind, and I see it with clients as well, is also how your mother felt while you were being developed as a fetus, while you were growing in the womb, also plays a huge fact, because you have to understand, like, you're being completely developed in her womb. Her cells become your cells, and what she's feeling, you are ineptly feeling as well. So if your mother as well, like if, her period in life while she was pregnant with you was stressful, or, the relationship was abusive, or, she just was overall just not having a good time in life, like you will, unfortunately, but also quite beautifully in a sense too, you will feel what she's feeling too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely relate to it's almost like what you're talking about when you're a child and like not having your needs met. It's like the development of the unworthiness or the not good enough feeling it can be so subtle. When I think back to my childhood, exactly like you were just explaining, like it was not terrible by any means. Like there was no one moment or multiple moments or big events where like, I felt like, oh, you're not good enough. But it was just like over time, and of course, like parents aren't perfect either, right? Over time and in various instances and in various small instances, it's like, oh, my emotional needs maybe were neglected because my parents were too busy doing something else. Yeah. And that can also result in just like this feeling of like, oh, my emotions aren't important. I'm not important because I'm not good enough. And so it can be like a really subtle development that you experience over like an entire childhood into like your teenage years, even into like adulthood. So it's like it's a tricky one to detect and become aware of when you don't have like a single moment where that you can point to and you're just like, oh, like this happened and I know that is like now manifesting into this behavior.
Yeah, I like that you're really highlighting that. So I want to double click on that too, because this is something that I try my best anyways to instill this on my clients that are specifically coming to me for like healing stuff, with like a mission of like, I want to heal this or like whatever, right? But I try to really emphasize this because a lot of the time, well, 100% of the time, whatever the reason why this wound or this part of you that feels like it's not enough, or something in you that's hurting, and you have an intention to like, I don't know, heal whatever aspect of yourself you feel like needs to be healed, um, where it came from really doesn't matter. Why it's there really doesn't matter. Um, in the act of healing something or overcoming or integrating something is kind of what I like to use more accurately. You don't really need to know where it came from. All you really need to know is how to feel it. And that's the hard part because we want to understand it when that's okay too. Sometimes understanding helps us to lean into the feeling and the to ultimately lead to the healing part, but it's not necessary. Like, I know on my end of the street, I have a very dark, colorful child, not so much childhood, but when I ran away from home, it was a fucking mess. A fucking mess. Like, I don't even, like, I should not be here today. Like, I'm very thankful. It's a miracle that I'm alive and I have what I have in my life. But if I were to focus on every little thing, one, I would be on the hamster wheel of healing. We've talked about this before, the hamster wheel of healing forever because it's just so much. And like I literally would not be able to wake up and like function because I would be so hyper focused on trying to like pinpoint like, oh my god, I'm feeling despair. This is because of XYZ and da da da, and it just be like this incessant loop. And I honestly believe this is a big reason why a lot of people get stuck on that healing hamster wheel and just like convinced that one, they are not good enough to have the relationship that they want, or they're not good enough to have the job. And it's like, because this happened to me when I was a kid and da 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 da. But ultimately, like, you don't need to know why. You know, the important aspect is to like have enough acceptance of like, oh, okay, like things happen to me and or happen for me. Like these things happen in my life, but that's not going to stop me. And I can, you know, still show up for myself every single day. I can go out into the world and do the things that, you know, I dream or desire to do. I can, you know, keep going every single day. Whatever happened really doesn't shape or mold my future.
Yeah. I really liked what you said in the beginning about how you worked with clients and like they always want to understand like the why, like why did this happen? They're trying to like put puzzle pieces together and stuff. What I see a lot of in my work in the medicine world and then also in my own experiences with like psychedelics is a lot of the times when we're like, this issue is the issue that I want to heal right here. And like this is the cause of it. And like I know these things. And like the medicine will show you, or even if it's like breath work or you have an awareness or whatever it is, it's like that's probably not even actually the issue. Like this might be is what you think is the issue, but the issue is actually like way over here and out in left field. So when you get so focused, so laser focused and tunnel visioned on like this one problem that you think is the issue that you have, you can miss a lot of things that are going on in the background because you're not actually open to seeing what else is there because you're so tunnel visioned onto like this one problem that you think is gonna like this happened to you when you're a kid and now this is the problem and you have to fix this and you miss a lot of other things that are